What's up guys, Theo here, back with another tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm going to go over 3 minor but common mistakes that players of all levels make in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Whether it's a low level player, mid level player, high level player, green square, red square, pink square, whatever. This is mistakes that I make, this is mistakes that you make, and this is mistakes that a lot of people make. So we're going to go ahead and discuss these. And basically I'm going to give you guys some loopholes or alternative approaches to these scenarios. So let me go ahead and get right into it. 2H. You guys know it. You guys love it. We love to mash it. We love to anti-air with it. It's really an amazing normal, no matter like which character has it, besides Krillin. It's a very like high risk and high reward normal. And the reason why it's high risk is because most 2Hs on block, they're not safe. So let me show that to you guys. I made the AI guard all and then counterattack with heavy. So I'm going to do a 2H and they're going to block it. See? They punish me back because it's not safe on block. Well, one thing that I notice a lot of players don't do is they don't cancel their block 2Hs into a safe special move. So let me show what I mean by that. A lot of players, what they do is they'll do a 2H, and if they see it got blocked, they'll super dash afterwards, and then they'll get punished for the super dash. Bam. Let me show that with a different character. They'll do a 2H, and then get punished because they tried to super dash afterwards. It's really habitual for a lot of players to do that because they feel like if they super dash after a block 2H, it'll keep themselves somewhat safe, but if the opponent like punishes that back with a 2H, you're basically dead. It's something that I do all the time. It's really habitual. It's an old habit that's really hard to get rid of. But let me give you guys a way to try and get rid of that habit. Instead of doing 2H into a super dash, why not do 2H into a safe special move? Like with Bardock, for example. Why not do 2H into Lariat to keep yourself safe? Or like with Goku, why not do 2H into down Kamehameha to keep yourself safe? Basically, like what this will do is if you see that your 2H will hit, you'll visually confirm it and then go into your combo. But if you see that your 2H got blocked, you'll go into a safe special move and basically keep yourself safe. So it's a win-win scenario. And let me give you guys an example of that. So what you guys can do is you can go to guard and you can set it to guard random. And then let's set the counter attack to jab, which is most characters' fastest attacks, right? So what's going to happen is I have no idea if the Gotenks is going to block my 2H or not. So it's on me to visually confirm if I should go into a safe move or if I should go into a 2H combo. So let's try. First attempt. They blocked it. I went into Lariat. Their jab wasn't able to come out. Second attempt. They got hit, I visually confirmed it, went into a full combo. Third attempt, they blocked it, I saw that they blocked it, I went into Lariat, and let me do it one more time. Fourth time, I saw that they blocked it, went into a Lariat. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to look at each and every one of your characters, and then see what special moves those characters have that you can input if your 2H gets blocked. And then do exactly what I'm doing, set the AI to random, and then practice visually confirming your 2Hs, like visually seeing if you should go into a combo or not. It really helps, and it'll save you from eating a really fat combo from your opponent. So with that being said, let's go into the second thing. The second thing that I notice a lot of people do is they'll play a character that has like an air level 3, like Bardock for example, right? And then they won't abuse this against players who super dash a lot while you're airborne. So let me tell you guys what I mean by that. Now we all know that when you're on the ground and someone super dashes, you see it coming, you can 2H them, right? Well, in the air, you can't quite do that. I tried to do a 2H in the air and that same situation doesn't work because an air 2H doesn't have invulnerability frames to airborne attacks, so like that same thing doesn't work. Well, what can you do that kind of emulates those invulnerability frames? Well, with Bardock, what I see a lot of players don't do is like when their opponent super dashes at them, why not do a level 3 in the air? And then give them an insanely fat punish into really, really good Okazemi afterwards with Bardock. Like, why don't people do that? Or like with Gotenks, for example. Gotenks has an air level 3. So he can do the same thing. There's a lot of characters that can do this. Like, Bardock has an air level 3, Gotenks, Vegito, Vegeta, Broly's I think can work. Tien can do the same thing. There's a lot of characters that have air level 3s, like Blue Vegeta, he's another one. Like, if you have a character with an air level 3, really, really, really practice punishing super dashes while you're airborne, because I promise you, your opponent is going to keep track of when you like to jump, and then they'll super dash while you're jumping because they know in that specific situation they can't get 2H'd. Well, that's like a way to make them really, really scared of super dashing at you when you're in the air. And trust me, when you make your opponent really, really scared to move against you, the situation completely becomes in your favor. Some people might ask, do level 1s work in that situation? And the thing about level 1s is a lot of them don't have invulnerability frames. So technically you can still do it, but you have to do the input earlier. And let me see if I can show that. See, like, I tried doing Goku's level 1 there, but since I did it, like, while the super dash is right next to me, and Goku's air level 1 doesn't have invulnerability frames, I got hit out of that. But, like, if I input it a little earlier, then it kind of hits them. So I think that you can still do air level 1s, but you can't really do it as well on reactions as you can to level 3s, because level 3s are invulnerable on startup, while level 1s are not. So that's the second thing that I want to talk about. Some characters have really, really good buttons against air super dashes. Like, let me show you guys Piccolo, for example. Piccolo is notorious for this thing which we call quote-unquote sword normals, which basically means that his air normals have a lot of range to them. So if you look at a really, really top Piccolo player like Apology Man, what he'll do is he'll throw out Piccolo's normals in the air to hit you out of your super dash. So let me just see if I can emulate that for you guys, even though I'm not a top Piccolo player. So like what he'll do is he'll do like his jab like I just did there, and it just hits you out of the super dash. Or he'll do like his jump heavy like Piccolo's, which will hit you out of the super dash and it'll go into a vanish afterwards. Let me try that again. Right there. Notice how much range that jump blade has. I didn't go into a good conversion there, and I wasn't too consistent at it because I don't really play Piccolo like that. But if you have a character which you feel like can consistently hit your opponent's super dash out of the air, definitely try to practice that with your character. Piccolo just being one good example of that. Now the last thing that I want to go into is, a lot of you might know this, but let me tag in. Actually, no, it works with Bardock. When your opponent does Ki Blast into Vanish, there's a gap in that which you can reflect. And let me show you guys that real quick. So you notice how I reflected that, right? Ki Blast into Vanish essentially isn't real, like I just did there. Now, in some cases, mid-screen, you can punish that, depending on the character, if your character has a fast enough advancing move. In some cases, that is punishable. It also depends on the character, it depends on a lot of things. But the thing is, if your opponent does that against you in the corner, in all cases, you can punish that. So you notice how I punished with a jab there, right? Bam, full combo punish. What I see a lot of opponents don't do, or a lot of players don't do, excuse me, is they'll block like a Ki Blast, and then like they don't reflect when their opponent is in the corner. So let me show that with another character. Like with Tien, right? Tien can do the same thing. And then like that, I can punish. Now, if I tag in Bardock, Bardock has the Lariat, and Lariat into Vanish has a gap in it. So what that means is I can do the same thing with Bardock. I can go into a full combo punish. So essentially, I guess this doesn't apply to just Ki Blasts. Like, what a lot of players don't do is, like, they'll block a special move, their opponent will vanish, and they won't, like, reflect the vanish and go into a full combo punish. In this specific situation, where your opponent is not in the corner and you are, and they do a Ki Blast into a vanish, and then you vanish and they're in the corner, you can always punish them. All the time. If they do the same thing mid-screen, you can't punish it all the time. It depends. Like in some cases, like Goku can block it and then go into a Kamehameha afterwards. Now notice that didn't work on Bardock, right? In some cases with some characters, it could work. There's so many different examples that if I would go over them, we would be here all day. But the most important thing is that when you're in the corner and you block a special move and they vanish and you don't reflect, you're leaving a bunch of damage on the table. So those are the three things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Those are three things where they're not too common of situations, but if you're able to capitalize on them, it could be the difference between winning a match or losing a match. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw, a subscribe would greatly be appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time for my next tutorial. Peace.